Oh, what the fuck? Um. Oh man, now my fucking video didn't record. Okay, let me start all over. I'm gonna make it this a short video, a really short video. Just a little couple stories. Um. Basically, if you guys heard of Bloods Point Cemetery in the Rockford Northern area, it is a very haunted cemetery. Was from what my grandma and I kind of knew about it because my mom has she knows about one of the haunted sites in Illinois for the northern part of Illinois, and she's been to Resurrection Mary, but they said they didn't see no sightings. Was I kind of believe because they say you don't really see shit in there unless you really go deep and you're a ghost hunter. But yeah, just like you gotta know, like don't don't if you go to over by if you go by if you go by Resurrection Mary, it's really another one in the Chicago area. It's really not shit to it. Like there ain't really nothing like I've heard about it. But Blood Point Cemetery is out past Route 20. You'll go by the closest road you can probably get there is probably Sweeney if you did. And there's an old man that has chased well people, like not even kids, just regular people, and he chases people out the cemetery. And I mean I haven't really experienced it because I went in the daytime, but you know at the nighttime it's really depending on. That's why I advise if y'all go on Bloods Point anywhere, starting from the top of the road all the way down to Swinney at the end. One rule number one: make sure you have a running car that don't stall, that don't got car problems, that can drive good and easy. Two, when you get over the bridge at nighttime, drive fast because if you stop at all, it will stall like literally for 5 minutes and you'll be stuck. For three, do not have nobody that are kids under 18. Have everybody make sure they're not old people, but make sure the people that can run and hike fast because there's just too more paranormal dramatic shit. Four, all windows secure, doors secure. No type of movement in the car unless you got a phone, you got to low down and you're doing stuff. And basically, I'm gonna give you a little summary. It's probably gonna be a little short video. Subscribe me if you like. My email is justinbrady50 or justinbrady323 at yahoo.com. If you want to go on my Facebook, it's Justin Brady. I'm wearing a white shirt. I look just like this. I'm shaved, but I kind of look young. And yeah, I'm from Rockville, Illinois. I was born and raised. And yeah, basically, I just learned about the cemetery. I really haven't known about the road, but I heard about it. And it's kind of was like when I drove on there yesterday in the daytime, it was really sunny, you know. It was about at least about 70, 80 degrees out. Sunny as hell. Like you would never like you would not think it was even like nothing happened. Like we hit the road, ran to Bloods Point right before you enter. Nothing. It's just all trees, like tree and cornfield, like when you first get in there. All trees and cornfields. But they so called say there's a dude that's alive still to this day. He's an old man, and he comes out with a chainsaw, and he just starts running it, and he just runs up and down through the cornfield because there's a lot of young teens that walk from Cherry Valley over there, and that's why I would never advise your kids if you have a kid that has went to Blood Point, I would never let them go over there by themselves unless they got real friends that are gonna and they gotta have to be really quick. Like I would never take nobody that's overweight that can't run because you gotta be real hikers. Like no disgrace or nothing, but you gotta be real hikers. Like you gotta be able to run. Like if you're just walking there and trying to really see some shit, that means you gotta run. But in some areas, it's not like how people think it is. Like the bridge is more like what they say is haunted site, but it's not really because the bridge is like so old and tore up, but they just rebuilt it. If you go over there, It's a really small bridge. It's really small. It's not even like you would think it's like a little trail bridge, and it's under. It's like about a whole bunch of railroad tracks. It looks like it goes into Rockford, and it's a train supposedly, and it goes up and down, and I guess it goes to Rockford. But I've like what I've heard. I heard that there's supposed to be like some kids. I guess when the car stalls by the bridge, I guess it's some kids that kind of like at the stalls after 5 minutes they kind of push it and it starts back up. Which I'd believe it. I would believe it. But I would believe it. But I don't know. It was only my first time, but I've heard of it in the past. Like there's a girl that lives from the old man that does all the chasing the cars away from people coming in, and it's just an old man that retired from Swedish American Hospital, Rockford on the east side, and he had kind of you know how old people get sometimes, like definitely man, and they get loony, so they kind of do certain shit. But he's a really smart man. I heard he went to college at Rockford College back in like the 70s, 80s when Jane Addams was going there around that time. But it wasn't like he's a really nice man, but he got an old black truck. Like he's a farmer man now. Like and his wife is so called does witchcraft, but they say they try to possess them whenever they're in the cemetery, which I mean, I wouldn't be surprised because when we were over there the other day, I saw the black truck parked in the parking lot. But it didn't have nobody in there, but it looked like the old man they were talking about that was sitting on the porch, and he had a black country hat on. He was just sitting there drinking some pop and on his phone, which I could believe. But they say if you go in the cemetery, really don't have your light on flash because it double click your phone and it will look like a big flashlight for like miles and it'll make your phone freeze and turn off. So I advise you guys if you're in the daytime, that's the best time. Like early morning, like when dawn hits, like early, like at least about after 8 or 9. Cause it's not like how people think it is at night. Like people say, "Oh no, I haven't seen ghosts. I haven't seen no cars. I drive through there just fine. I go on Sweeney Bridge and I only see one thing." But Witch Beulah, that house, I'll make that in my next video. My grandma could tell you about that in the next video. That was one of the most scenes that do happen in like the kind of in the part of the Bloods Point Road, which I'm kind of get the ibby jibbies right now, but it's probably them just because I'm talking about it. I'll probably have nightmares and I hope I don't, but I probably won't because I don't. That devil shit I believe in too, so it's not really gonna scare me how I think. But yeah, it's just like like you gotta you just gotta know like what you're doing. Like you just don't go in there with just by yourself. Again, don't go in there by yourself. I'm giving you warnings right now because I know people. I could tell you a little short story. There was a young kid. He just got out of college, just fresh out of college. He went to college at Rock Valley. And he was getting ready to go to Northern Illinois University in Sycamore, Illinois. And he had moved over to DeKalb. And he loved ghost hunting. He loved ghost hunting. The story what I heard, he loved ghost hunting. He loved seeing ghosts. He loved the Bloods Point Road. He always used to drive there every Friday. So he went one Friday with his friend named Tommy Jackson. He's from Rockford. He went to Auburn High School, and they had went over there, and I guess he called his mom. You know, the young guy called his mom that was driving, and Tommy was looking over like, I don't see nothing. I don't see nothing. So they kind of go in like to the over to the cemetery. They go in the gates and they even got the warning sign. So I don't know why people would just walk in there because there's always like when I went there yesterday, it was like at least I seen about 3 police cars driving up and down Sweeney, up and down like nonstop. That's what the girl I know that lived on Sweeney, right next to the old man. They has people chasing people, and like they're all like basically everybody that chases the the people out down the road, they're all hillbillies. That's what Fardale's known of, from what I hear, is hillbillies or nice people that got nice farmhouses that are old people or young people that just don't got kids and they live in farmhouses because they'll be trusted in the country and they don't want to be next to little towns or big towns. Which at one point I really wanted to move out to a farmhouse in Marengo, but it looked too spooky at night. Like I couldn't be out there, and I sure know my family would probably freak out even sitting out that night. And I definitely would never sit out that night because you never know what's gonna come out the cornfields. Like there's creeps that drive up and down everywhere, and you never know what a truck might just pull up and might see you out there and try to take you. And that's what I say. Like I don't care. I'd fight for my life. Like if I had a machete, I'd probably gonna stab them if they could try to grab me. Like I'm for real. Like if I lived in the country, I'd probably end up eventually investing in like a shotgun and all that because it's just not what you think. Like people think, oh yeah, I'm gonna move to the country and there could be shit that goes on. That's true, but it's like that's where more of the fucking murder cases and the little baby raping cases do happen sometimes. And like if you go to the most rape cases in Illinois by Rockford, it happens right outside Rockford, like everything. Like this is dude named what's that man's name that used to have all them kids? You remember that girl you knew from Dewey? He was like a man that my grandma, this girl they used to go to drum corps with, and the girl had like I guess been on like 10, and she was, yeah, her name's Susan Brady, and she had been in the drum corps. My grandma, I guess from what I heard, she got kidnapped and killed by that man. And Dewey had caught a case, like original murder case, by Blood's Point. He had killed a young man that was only like 19 that went to Boylan High School, killed him with a knife, and then threw his body in Pearl Lake. From what I hear, Pearl Lake, that's by McChesney Park, not too far out. But that's why I don't really like camping